Hello and welcome to Flory Models. Here we are on Friday, the 1st of October for your weekly roundup of everything that's been going on with Flory Models. So, all started, busy week, off with the actual Vulcan. So as you can see, we had part 12 going down on here, and part 12 we were talking really about decaling, the surface you want to be putting down there, how to get rid of silvering and things like that. So you can see decals going down. A little bit of setting solutions down in those with them, really giving it time to wrinkle up and bed down and things like that as it goes through. But let's face it, doesn't always go well. We did have a little bit of silvering with some of these parts as well, so we got out my favourite way of getting rid of it, and that is to use a riveting wheel. So you're not trying to make rivets, you're not pushing that hard, but just lightly rolling it across the actual decal to pierce the clear film, the carrier film, to enable the setting solutions to get underneath and get them to bed down right the way through. Then we did a few little cheats, so we used a little bit of Posca pens down in there to do the whites on the wheels instead of decals, and then we were coming back and having to look at exactly how well that actual decal went down on the surface. And as you can see, it's actually gone down really well down in there. You can see the texture through the decal as well, so it's gone through absolutely beautifully. Then we spoke about putting down a satin coat, so that's not a sample over there, that's my satin coat of Tamiya when it goes off a little bit. But again, we were talking about distance, texture, air pressures, and obviously you mix to make sure that it goes down really nicely on there. So as you can see in the photos, nice close, good positive paint work going down on there. So you're putting it down so it looks nice and wet, and you end up with, when it's dried back, something looking really nice. And then that'll lead us on for today's program. We'll talk about in a moment about texture. So obviously putting weathering down, it really comes along very nicely. Tuesday was a little bit different, so obviously at the moment I'm currently working on the Bitesize, so members got up the whole of the first part of the Bitesize series in one giant chunk. So again, this has going to be edited down into smaller chunks as we make our way through into the more of the bite size, but the members get it as a full-on video build as well. So we've been working on this one, as you can see down in here, and then we were going through the motions of basically all the basics. So about removing parts, we were talking about flash, we're talking about obviously a basic paint job onto this one, a basic weathering job, so dry brushing, a quick oil wash, and then we were going things about different types of glues for different areas. So as again, you might want to use obviously a thicker glue because obviously extra thin glues don't like doing certain jobs, like very thin parts, things like that. They tend to dry out bigger areas, so going in there. Then obviously we talk about some scrape cleaning, when to scrape clean and when to sort of sand. And then obviously we do need a little bit of filler on this kit, so we go through and we do some filler jobs on this one, and then we talk about obviously sanding, we talk about taking care of sink marks as well, because obviously this kit's got a few of those as well, so forth and so on right the way through. And here she is here, pretty much ready for the next stages of going through. So in the next part of this one, which again will be turning to bite size, and hopefully I'll get it all live for the non-members next week, but this one we talk about obviously using different types of ways to fill gaps. So again, it's nice thing about this kit, it's got a few little problems, but they're really easy fixes. So we talk about plastic card shimming, which is my favorite if I can do any type of gap filling like that. Really easy to do, so we show about that. We talk about using acrylic fillers like perfect plastic putty and how those clean up. Then we talk about normal fillers, you know, your lacquer based type thinners, so we talk about those and removing those. And then we obviously talk about things like liquid putties, using those and putting them down, mist the surface if we're doing cleanup work and stuff like that. So really she is all set ready for primer. So again, instead of it being like this one is a 14-part video build, this one will be done in probably 2 or 3 parts and it will all be completed. So a slightly different way of doing it, but we're using this one as a teaching the basics. Obviously, as I said before, we're going to be moving on in a few weeks' time to the more sort of, you know, intermediate and advanced modeling techniques right the way through, and especially on the weathering side of it and those types of areas as well. But again, it's a plethora of information. There's loads of tips and tricks down in there that you might not have seen before. It might give you a better idea of how to take care of some more of the problemsome areas, shall we say, on kits. But generally, really nice. It's come together very nicely. So that's what I've been working on all month, setting up, redoing. You've seen a lot of the airbrushing ones over the previous week. This will then tie in because I'll be using this kit for obviously doing camo work. And then, you know, post-shading, pre-shading, various things like that I can teach as well on this particular kit. But say I have got other kits over there as well. We've got the Mustang coming along for the more advanced side of it, because obviously that's a metal finish, and then with the silver finish as well on the actual puttied areas. So again, lots of things coming along with that one. So that was Tuesday, and then obviously we had the Q&A with that one as well as it made its way through down on there. Then obviously it was over to Wednesday, so it's the PM show. The big news this week, and we spoke about it on the show last night as well, is the border models have now got the wingnut wings molds for the Lancaster, so they've upgraded it, done a few bits and pieces to it. So we were talking about that particular kit, and then to be honest with you, after the show we got a lot more information came through about it from our stockists and things like that, our suppliers. So then it was just a case of, right, okay, summing it all up really and going through. The other thing as well, up free to watch, is Matt's next video that he's doing on the 1/16 scale dragon figure. As you can see, great paint job by him. It's a step-by-step masterclass on figure painting, so if you're into that, you can see that one just down in there as well, and obviously we'll link it to a video build, but he's got a few more parts ready to go along with that one. So literally that was on Wednesday, and then last night we were talking about the show was all about basically when is it too big and too expensive. And again, I know that's a sort of loaded question, because if you got the room, it's never too big, and if you got all the money, it's never too expensive. But we were just trying to get a feel from the membership. As I said, we had about 300-400 of you on last night. So, you know, running some quick polls, things like that, about would you pay, how much would you pay, you know, when would you, you know, go hands in, no problem at all, when you're going to step away from it and things like that about that particular kit. And to be honest, it was amazing. I went back and looked through obviously some of the results that we were gaining when we were asking you questions, and it's very, very interesting reading. And again, I don't know if it's because we were talking about vanity projects, if people see it more of a vanity project than a normal kit, or if it's that thing just because the price is ridiculous. You know, 700 quid in the UK for that particular kit, it's put so many people off because it's just gone over that price point of what most people think is an acceptable price to pay for a kit. But again, it's very interesting getting your feedback onto that one. That's what the show is all about. I know obviously we're talking about other bits and pieces and answering your questions and things like that on that one. And then that brings us basically bang up to date to, if I can find it, today, where we've actually got the next part of, sorry, we're in the wrong section, I'm so used to going in there this week, of the Vulcan. This is the penultimate part. There's only one part which is going to be left up with you on Monday for this one. So this is part 13, free to watch video. Don't forget you can get it over social media, or you can get it down on here, and here she is down on here. So really on this one, it's about the weathering. So after we were talking about obviously the texture, as we can see down in here being very nice, here it is down when it's totally dry and everything else. It's got what I would call a satin finish, so it's flat to satin finish, so it's got a good bite. Then we put the wash on. So obviously I'm going to use the Flory Models wash for this one, and we just slap dark dirt right the way over it and go through the motions on this one of putting all this one down. And again, really interesting to see how it works. And we talk about obviously how it works with texture, so you can sand it off, you can just wipe it off, whichever way you want to do it to have the best possible textured finish onto this one. And there you go. So that's a nice sort of with the wash on, with the wash taken off over a textured finish. You can see the difference, and on the top a little bit cleaner obviously, so again showing it nice within all the panel lines and things like that down on there. So again, you can go off and you can see that one now. It is up on YouTube as a free to watch video as well. And here she is. So again, looking very, very much the part on this one. She is all finished, but there is going to be a bonus part which ties into this weekend, which we spoke about in a minute. But again, really, really enjoyed it. It's been a fantastic kit. And again, one of those kits that has really been, you know, a joy to build. The construction was very straightforward, no problems at all. There's a couple of little things, but that's what modelling is all about. And again, we did the sort of camo work and working through that one as well, slightly different way from normal. So again, and then everything in. But what we are going to do at the weekend, we're going to weather it as well. So it's going to be a live masterclass as well that you'll be able to watch if you're going to be following us over the weekend, which is a fantastic segue into Flory Fest. So Flory Fest is what we tried last year, worked really, really well. So there was no Telford last year because obviously with COVID and things like that. So we did our own version of it. And obviously we're not going to be at Telford this year because of a few little things. So from our point of view, so we can't make it. So we're putting on our own version of it. So we're calling it Flory Fest. So I have got a nice little picture up here. Talking about it. So basically it's going to run from Saturday 10 a.m. till midday will be the first show, and down in there obviously we'll be talking about all things modelling. You can get totally interactive and get involved with it. We're going to be doing demos, so obviously I'm going to be doing some more weathering onto my lightning here because it will finish that one off, as well as we're making our way through with that one. We'll be doing some work on the lightning down on here. The guys are going to be involved with it as well, so hopefully they're going to be doing some demos but answering your questions and getting totally involved with it as well. Then we're going to be back with you in the afternoon, and we've got Brett coming on from High Altitude Hobbies in the afternoon as well. So if you've got any questions for him, you can answer his questions. And again, we're going to be doing, you know, demos and various bits and pieces right the way through. If you want to see us do anything, we can do it for you on that one. Saturday night at 7:30 we got the quiz. Nathan, our quiz master, has been busy. We're dreaming up some probably impossible questions, but it's always a laugh. So the whole point of this one is you grab yourself a drink, you get some snacks in, and we just have a laugh. It's not really modelling, it's just a giggle to wind down after the day to make our way through. That'll finish around about 9 o'clock, okay? And then we're back with you on Sunday. So again, same format. We're going to do more demos, looking at your great work as well, see if we can get you involved with it and things like that as well. So we'll be on same type of time schedule again, so it's going to be 10 till midday, and then we'll be back in the afternoon where we've got Airfix coming on. So we've got Pramjit from Airfix coming on as a bit of a special guest in the afternoon as well, and he's going to be talking about a few things. I'm going to put together this lovely kit whilst we talk and go through that one. So if you've got any questions to Pramjit, you might have seen him. He's been a lot on social media recently as well, was obviously with us with Flory model shows. So if you've got any questions for him as well, you'll be able to ask them direct, because obviously the entire thing is a free to watch. It's going to be all over social media, so it will be on the Facebook, it will obviously be streaming live on YouTube, and members, obviously you've got the chat room as well, can get in directly to us that way. So again, if you've got any questions, feel free to post them up as we make our way through. On top of all of this, obviously we are doing show specials. So from our point of view, you might be able to see it down there. We got up to 28%, although I think that's just on pigment sets, but obviously it'll be 25% off the washes, and then obviously we're doing various ones down in, well, I'm trying to see what we've got. So we've got 20% off the big pack of sanders that we do. We've got a further 10% off the starter sets that came back in stock. Single packs of sanders are 16.5% off, so forth and so on, right the way through as well. So if you want to grab yourself some bargains, we've got everything in stock, we're all ready to go. And also this is going to go with our friends obviously at High Altitude Hobbies. They're going to be doing show specials as well, so don't panic if you're in the US, you still can buy directly from them, so you can get your orders out from there. And Serious Models, obviously over in Greece, who are our EU distributor, they've got involved with it as well, and they're doing 15% off everything. They're just doing a blanket thing right the way across the board. So again, if you want to get anything from them, obviously you can then just buy direct. So don't panic, we've thought of everything and got everybody covered on this one. So if you want to get involved with that, it would be absolutely fantastic. And that will be our weekend. Very, very busy. Oh, and obviously PM Models are doing 10% off all kits, and they might have some more other specials down in there as well. There will be an opportunity to win certain mugs, because I'm going to be doing a couple of little freebie giveaways and things like that as well, and competitions. So if you want to win yourself a mug with a set of sanders, so it'll look like that when it gets to your door, well, probably not, it'll be packaged separately, but that as well. So we'll be doing giveaways as well from Flory Models. And the other thing as well, all orders will get the badge. So we've got the badges are back in stock. These are the Flory Models sort of very limited edition badges. So we've got a big bag of those to give away with all the orders that you order from Flory Models anyway. We'll all get a badge just like that. So again, should be a lot of fun. It's usually quite a marathon. By the end of it, I've lost my voice, and I usually get ill after doing these things after a good couple of days, but they're always going to be fun. So don't forget, the whole point of the entire weekend is you can just join us, you can come in, you can come out, and it's supposed to be a bit of a laugh, bit of a giggle, and then hopefully we can showcase some great work at the same time. So think of it like a virtual model show. It's like Telford Model Show without being there, so without the risk of COVID and smells and queues and getting wet normally and things like that. The weather's going to be awful in the UK, so if you want to join us, then definitely it's the place to be. So anyway, that's it. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until tomorrow morning, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing. And answers. No